Hey, everybody. Welcome again to Friday Night Happy Hour in Wicked Awesome Travel Tales. We're excited that you're here, and we are excited to be here because we have a very special guest. But before we get there, I'd like to say hello to my beautiful co-host, Amy Coffin. Coffin. Coffin.
Wow. That's the beautiful part.
I haven't even had a sip. So, I'm sorry, Amy from Time Together Travel. Hey, Amy.
Hi, everybody. How are you? I've been answering to a whole lot of names lately, so it's all good, Janine. Don't worry about a thing.
Well, I just read that we're supposed to do mouth exercises before we go live.
Oh.
And I did not. So, next time, for sure. Maybe we'll do it online.
Oh, should I not do it that now?
So, I'd like to say hello to Roseanne Coyle. And she is our good friend from 522 Travel Group, also from the beautiful state of New Jersey. Hey, Roseanne, how are you?
I am great. It's nice to be here, ladies. This is
Yay,
fun.
Rosie! Yay, Rosie!
Fun.
And it's also worth noting that whenever we travel to different company functions and stuff like that, Rosie and I are pretty much always roommates. So she's my roommate. We have lots of
She's
secrets.
my roomie.
We have lots of secrets.
We have fun.
We do.
Oh, yeah. I'd like to be a fly on the wall there. So
No,
before we started into the big, all the good fun stories that we have to tell tonight, Amy and I did say that if you showed up tonight live to watch us talk about travel, we would give you a little gift. And that little gift is a digital copy of Virtuoso Life magazine. So it's a beautiful magazine. If you haven't seen it, it's just beautiful content, beautiful pictures of unique destinations, tons of travel tips and advice. And this month, it's a love letter to travel. And we all love to travel. And there are 50 reasons why travel is so amazing, as if you need somebody to tell you travel is amazing, because it is. But if you want to dream now and think about traveling later, I think we all do. I will put the link below, and you can click on it and find out how you can get yourself a copy. So I hope you do, because it's
beautiful magazine. It's a really beautiful magazine.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Roseanne, I'm so excited to talk to you because I know you love to travel and you've been in the travel industry for a while. Tell us the story that you tell everyone when you're at a cocktail party and the drinks are flowing. What story do you tell people?
Well, it probably depends on, how many glasses of wine I've had, but how about if I tell you a story that I've never told anywhere, really? Very, 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 very rarely.
That sounds good.
Ooh.
I think that's a good idea.
That sounds juicy, Rosie.
It's a kind of funny story. It happened a long time ago, but it happened on my very first trip to Europe, and that was the trip, my very first trip, where me and travel and passion we just really connected. I landed in Germany, and I didn't know anything. I was on a group tour. It was a high school group. I was probably 16, all girls. I went to an all-girls academy. And the chaperones were a couple of nuns, a couple of lay teachers, and, a group of Catholic girls, Catholic schoolgirls. And I didn't know very little about Europe, but, never traveled outside the United States. So the second city that we went to was Amsterdam. And the only thing I knew about Amsterdam was that it was pretty liberal. I didn't know how liberal, but I knew it was more liberal than the United States. So we end up in this hotel, beautiful little hotel, across from, one of the canals. And I'm rooming with, my good friend. We go upstairs to the room. And the part of this you have to understand is when I landed in Europe, I just broke out of a bubble. I was ecstatic. I was euphoric. I was energized to be in these countries. And I was like a sponge absorbing all of the culture and things that were so brand new to me. And so we get into this room, and it has a little Juliet balcony with, two French doors. And the balcony is just wide enough to open these two doors, looking out across the street at the canal, right? So I go over and, Miss Drama, I throw open the French doors and lean out on the balcony. And I'm like, hello, Amsterdam. I'm here. Oh, look at you, little guy in your boat going down the canal. Hi. Just being my American girl, 16-year-old crazy self, right? My girlfriend comes over. She's leaning over my shoulder. Next thing you know, we hear this bang, 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 like literally minutes. You hear this bang, 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 bang on the door. And she opens the door, and the manager is like screaming in German. We have no idea what he's saying. And then he runs into the door, and he grabs the door and shuts it and bolts it. Next thing you know, here comes the assistant manager with two of the nuns. The nuns are yelling, I don't know what you're talking about. And they're going crazy, followed behind two policemen. Into the room.
Rosie, why? What happened?
One of the policemen takes us and says, why don't you, step out into the hallway? No, one of the nuns said, why don't you step out in the hallway? And one of the police officers follows us. Now, at this point, we don't know that the police officer can understand English, okay? And all we know is that one of the nuns that can speak a little French is trying to communicate with the manager and the assistant manager, and the manager is just explosive. Well, it turns out that prostitution is legal in
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. And this is a precautionary tale to anybody that goes to Europe and does not use an on-site excursion and agent. The tour operator booked us in a red light district hotel. Now, prostitution is legal, but solicitation is highly illegal. I mean, you can't even go like this without being arrested. So now, so of course, it only took seconds. Before there's lots of guys, up and down the canal in their little boats.
Oh.
So now, meanwhile, obviously
you're all sassy and like
out of that. But meanwhile, back in the hallway, the two 16-year-olds who truly have no clue. I mean, I was so clueless. The two 16-year-olds are talking about how cute these guys are in the canal, in their boats in the canal.
And you have no idea why you're in trouble.
Idea that we are making the case worse because the police officer can understand English. So that was my.
Oh my gosh! What did the nuns do? What were the nuns doing?
Yeah, that's what I want to know too.
Oh my God! I mean, like they were white. And just like yelling. I mean, they were yelling at this manager first in indignation, obviously,
right.
And then when they realized that we were wrong for being in that hotel, and the manager's like, well, in other words, like, what did you think?
Right?
Like,
what'd you expect? Of course.
Of course. Needless to say, we were. I mean, we hadn't even had time to unpack a toothbrush,
Yeah.
We were at another hotel and booked into another hotel in a lovelier part of Amsterdam.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Amsterdam is a funny place, huh? It is. Are they changing the red light district? Aren't they making changes now and not as much? I mean, when I was there, I got robbed. That was my experience in Amsterdam.
Oh, wow. That's not good.
Yeah. So I spent a lot of my time at the American consulate or embassy or something, getting a new passport. But
yeah,
Dan, that was an awesome picture. So I must toast to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. We've not toasted yet. So
cheers to being a naive girl in Europe.
Yeah.
Oh my golly.
That's awesome.
Janine, what are you drinking after you take a sip? Because that's not wine tonight. So
no, it is margarita.
Ooh.
Margarita, yes. It's summertime. It's time.
Yeah,
it's too hot for red wine. So
yeah, I know. I sleep better when I have red wine. So
yeah.
Holy cow.
So go ahead, Amy.
No, I was just saying that is an amazing story. So I would just like to know, just off the top of my head, just because now I'm curious, is so if you can't solicit, so let's say just for argument's sake, I'm a prostitute in Amsterdam. And I can't, like, sell myself. I can't go into a salesman thing.
I think we're a friend.
Right, just for the sake of discussion. Let's just pretend. So how am I making business? I mean, I'm a business owner.
You were allowed to sit in the windows, stand in the doorways, lean on the balcony. You could stay in view. You just couldn't talk, sing, in any way, do anything that looked like you were, soliciting.
Asking
and
for it.
certainly not fling open the doors and wave to people.
That's so funny.
That is beautiful. Oh my God, that's awesome. That's
Think about
terrific.
how many times when you're young, when you first start to travel, that these crazy things happen to you just because you're naive and you have no idea like what's going on. My friend and I were on a train and this guy came in. Maybe I shouldn't even say the story, but it's so funny. So he was an older guy and I don't even remember what country we were in, but he did not speak English and we didn't speak whatever language he was speaking. He was trying to get us to give each other massages, right? He was trying to like talk us into. We were both like, right? It was so, after he left, we had actually chased him away because he was really like trying to really
aggressive. Yeah.
Going on. So we finally just started, get out of here. And he ran away and he ran down the train. But oh my gosh, can you imagine if we had been older, he probably wouldn't have tried.
No, of course not, because you were younger.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I had a similar experience that Rosie had with a guy coming on to me. My first trip was a high school trip as well, and I went to Catholic school. And not all girls, but so we went on our trip to Spain, and we were all 18 because we were seniors. Most of us were anyway, and it's 18 at the time to drink in Spain. But we weren't allowed, obviously, to partake. And not that I would have anyway. I was a good Catholic girl. And
right.
Wait a minute. Are we playing two truths and a lie right now? Two truths and a lie.
We'll do that on another show. You guys can believe whatever you want to believe. But anyway, so a guy was coming on to me. We were out to dinner or something. I remember this very, very well. And I didn't do well in my Spanish classes, so I didn't speak very good Spanish, even though I'd taken it for 4 years at that point. I had no idea what I was talking about. So this guy, he was super cute. Oh, he was so cute and clearly taking advantage of a young, Catholic, good Catholic girl from America who didn't speak any Spanish. And I remember getting scolded by our supervisors, the chaperones. And they were parents of friends of mine, and getting scolded that because I was like, oh my God, he's talking to me. He's so cute. So of course I was Amy, but I was 18. So and not real wise to the world yet. So anyway, so there you go. That I totally get it, Rosie. It's a hoot because then you get all this attention, right? And what you don't realize is that it's not necessarily healthy attention.
No,
exactly.
Something.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, this is my husband's story, but I'm still going to tell it. He went to Spain and France in high school too, and one of the kids that he was with went and bought a bottle. So they snuck out to buy alcohol. He bought a bottle of cooking sherry.
Oh, that's desperate.
Oh, apparently he was sick. This is actually.
Oh my God, you'd be sick for days.
Yeah, and they sent him home.
Yeah, there's all sorts of rules. Yeah. What's gonna happen? Yeah, that's awesome. So, Rosie, I know that you have another story that you and your beautiful, wonderful husband that I adore so much told me about. I don't know, some beach and a naked person. Since we're on this topic. So you would like to
story too, but go ahead.
I love those. So this is the R-rated version. Not really, just kidding. PG-13. So anyway, so seriously, can you tell like the PG-13 version of that story?
Sure. It was after all our honeymoon, so right.
Of course it was.
It was our honeymoon.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was St. Bart's. I think the island we were on was St. Bart's, if I recall correctly. But it was an island that, no, St. Martin's. It was St. Martin's because we were on the Dutch side and this was on the French side. And on the French side, they had nude beaches. So I say, not my husband, I say.
Good Catholic girl that you are.
Let's rent a scooter and you know, scoot on over to the French side. I've never been on a nude beach. I'm gonna go on a nude beach. Okay. So he's up for anything. God love him. I mean, I'd probably say, let's get on a rocket, and he'd be like, okay, let's go. You know, we'll go to the moon, wherever you want to go. So we get the scooter, we get on the scooter, we find our way over to this to this beach. We go on the beach, and at first I was like really surprised because when you think of nude beaches, you think like gorgeous bodies and, you know, San Tropez.
No.
And it was like
normal bodies. It's normal bodies. That's what it is, right? It's
normal bodies, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's like the gym. It's everybody's body. So, okay.
Yeah.
So we find a spot, we put our towel down, and now I've got my bathing suit on, but like, it's one thing to go on a nude beach, but it's another thing if you've never really, you know, this is like a new exciting
thing. Actually like, do it.
Now, how do I get from point A to point, like, you just start taking on, you just start stripping on this beach? Like, whoa, this is kind of, you know, kinky. All right. Well, before we can figure it all out, here come these two men, very dressed impeccably, with the tiny little bikini bathing suits, you know, that they wear in Europe, but very tasteful. They put their towels out. They do a whole like ritual. They, you know, wiggle out of their suits and they hang them on the trees. And they're like, all like, and I'm like, well, okay, I don't even have. I think I have a beach bag. Like, is there rules? I don't know. Is there rules? So they, you know, take off and go to the beach. And I'm like, well, look, we're at the beach. I want to go in the water. Now, remember, this is St. Martin's. It's the Caribbean. The water is crystal blue, beautiful. This particular beach was in a cove and it had waves. And I'm like, oh, Jersey Shore waves. Because, you know, the Caribbean, you know, they don't have the kind of waves we're used to here in the Northeast. So, all right. So we do the little strip down thing. I'm like, oh. We go out into the water and we're in the waves and we're doing the Jersey Shore people. What do you do when you go in the waves? You jump in the waves. You jump. And I happen to turn around. You know, like I'm just doing my usual euphoric self. Turn around and everyone on the beach is staring at us. I look around and they like just kind of walk into the water and dip themselves and go on the blanket. And they're trying to figure out, like, what are these crazy Americans doing? And then I realize we're standing in, like, crystal clear water. And we're nude in front of, like, a whole lot of people. And now I just want my blankie.
Oh, my gosh. Plus, you're used to the water in New Jersey, right? That's not crystal clear.
Like, right, nobody can say anything.
Yeah, right. You can be butt naked out there and nobody would know.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Up to your neck. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Nude beaches are so funny. Like, so we have one in Massachusetts, believe it or not, on Martha's Vineyard. And it's actually not illegal.
We do?
Yes. So it's
excuse me.
And it's not a legal beach. But people, so you'll go and there's there's one section everyone has clothes on, and then it gets progressively more naked as you go down. And I was there one time
about the Vineyard.
Oh yeah, Amy.
I know this, Amy.
We were there when I was in high school, and I did have my clothes on, I will admit, because I've always been like that when I was a kid. But we saw this is, you know, a guy walking down the beach. He spotted us from a mile away. He's not one stitch of clothing on. He's tan from head to toe. Plops himself right next to us, a bunch of high school girls, like, and starts chatting us up. And I'm like, next to me. Luckily for us, all of a sudden someone starts to yell, "The police are coming! The police are coming!" And every once in a while, I guess, the police from Aquinnah would come walking down the beach fully clothed, and of course, and their police,
Thank God.
everyone throwing their clothes on, and the point was to get people to put their clothes back on. And my friend, who was kind of cheeky, said, "Hey, I'm just going to say, what would happen if I was naked?" They're like, "Well, you'd be arrested." And everyone starts to yell all the way down the beach, and everyone starts to throw their bathing suits on. And luckily, like I said, the guy ran away. So,
oh my God.
So that was nice.
Yeah, I can't say that I've ever had that experience other than Tim and I were in France, and topless is everywhere on a beach in France.
Right.
And where else were we? Maybe even Tahiti, when we went to Tahiti and Bora Bora and all that. I think there were some. So, but I didn't do it. I don't know why. As you guys know, I'm not a shy person, but it's just one of those things that I don't know. It goes back to my good Catholic upbringing.
Right.
Yeah. It's cultural too. Like you really.
My halo.
Yeah. We make such a big deal of how we look and stuff on the beach, where you go to Europe and you have women who are probably 70s, 80s in bikinis. Totally rocking it, right?
Yeah.
But they look like
totally rocking it.
It's not like they don't look like they're 40. They look like they're 80,
right.
and they don't give a crap. So I really wish that we could be the same way.
Right.
I do too. I really do. I wish that we didn't have all the mental stuff that we have and feel more empowered to do those things and feel confident in doing it, not even a thought in our mind. So I applaud both of you. I know, Janine, you didn't get naked as far as you're telling us anyway.
Hey, I'll talk to you offline.
Secret.
So funny.
So I don't remember that story that Pat got naked too. I don't remember you two telling me the story that Pat was naked. I knew the story about you being naked, but I don't remember in this company you ever telling me he got naked too. So that,
Well, he's the quiet one in the story.
He is the quiet one, yeah.
Yeah. You always need
he's a good storyteller.
You need a straight guy. Like you need to be, the funny comic relief person. So
absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. It's a riot and a half for sure.
Yeah.
So where's the first place you'll go, Roseanne, when we open up, when things open up again? What do you think's the first place you'll get off to?
Probably the next place I'll go is Turks and Caicos. For a trip down there to see it. I mean, this opportunity came up for how many, Amy? Are there like 10 of us going or something?
10 of us, that's it. Yeah.
For those people watching, it's an opportunity for a group of us to go down and stay at 2 different resorts and learn about all the snorkeling and diving and everything that they're so well known for. And probably without this trip, I don't know that Turks and Caicos was on my radar of places to go. I snorkel, but I don't dive. And I don't have that many clients that dive. But given this kind of opportunity, I couldn't pass it up. And so that's probably, because that's in September. So that's probably the first place I will go.
Yeah. Will you go anywhere this summer? Either of you? Will you go anywhere domestically this summer? I'm seriously thinking about it. I just don't know what to do.
Well, our two boys live, one in Dallas and one in Los Angeles with their family, with their wives.
Right.
And so my new grandson, he just graduated from high school the 22nd of May. Actually, it was on my birthday. And we were going to go out there for his graduation, but all things being what they are, you couldn't. So we'll probably try to get out to see them.
I think most people are thinking about family, and really missing people that you haven't been able to see. And we have a trip to the Bahamas planned at the end of the year, so I'm hoping that we get to go, and that would be nice.
That's good. Yeah, we have some meetings on the books. I know Rosie's going to be there. I don't know if you're going to any of them, Janine, but we have some meetings coming up, and Rosie and I'll be at one at Turks and Caicos, and then we have one piggybacking right after that, one day later in Punta Cana.
Punta Cana.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. If we can get out of here, that would be delightful. So
yeah, think positive thoughts. Think
absolutely.
Positive thoughts, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. What about internationally besides Caribbean and the meetings that we have? Do you and Pat have anything at all planned, Rosie?
Well, we were supposed to have a 30th wedding anniversary, and I wanted to do a vow renewal.
Yeah,
and,
I remember.
Have our children there, and that just while we were busy trying to make plans and figure out the finances, Mr. COVID-19 decided that he had other plans. So that just kind of got shelved, but it's just literally shelved. I still plan to do that. So maybe that would be the first international thing, because I was planning on trying to do it internationally somewhere, but we don't have anything planned yet.
We don't.
I really want to get to Tahiti, safari,
Yeah.
I don't have them planned. I don't have them planned.
Yeah. Rosie and I don't talk about
celebrating 31st.
Amy and I are not allowed to speak about the safari.
Africa ever.
The story is
what happens in Africa stays in Africa. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Well, she got to go to Africa.
And Rosie did not.
It was the African trip that group just came back from. And when that was announced, actually my husband said to me, we should sign up. You've been talking about going on safari as long as I've known you. I said, okay. So let me just make sure I can, get class covered, because it was during school year, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So that night he confirmed it. The next day we go up to the desk. We're going to sign up for it. Amy is literally walking away from the desk as we walk up.
Oh, get the last slide.
I like the last two seats.
The last two seats.
Yeah.
So the moral of that story is, for anyone watching, if you want to go somewhere, you have to do it.
Do it.
You gotta go.
Absolutely. I'm getting so many feelers right now, and I personally have clients that have the future travel credits. So anybody who's watching that thinks they want to travel, start planning it now.
Because it's not going to be there.
All of the people that are canceled start to travel again, the availability is going to just be gone. You'll find yourself locked out. So
if people think they're going to get deals, I think that's a mistake too.
I just wrote my whole weekly easing was on that this week. Was like, everybody say there's not going to be a deal to be had.
No,
not a deal.
I think now, if you want a deal, I think now, literally now, like today, tomorrow, next week.
Oh, absolutely.
Is when you will find the best options. Right now, as we three are aware, the suppliers are really giving a lot of extras. There are no change fees, a lot of incentives. As soon as people start booking, those incentives will dry up completely.
Go away.
They'll go away.
Yeah. And the other part of that is that it's limited capacity. So they're only going to be booking 25 to 60% capacity. Right. So, and everybody's got to remember that all this time, everybody's losing money. So they need to get that back at some point. So if they're going to stay in business. So those who survive this horrible thing we're in, we're going to have to make sure, they're going to have to make it up. We're in the business to make money.
Right.
Well, plus they'll be rebooking everybody that from March.
Well, yes.
The end of the year, right? So
really good point. Yeah, really good point, because Disney World is already accepting reservations. They plan to open, but only for people who were pre-booked and got canceled. That's it. And then once they do that, they'll see what's left, because they're only at, I think, 40%. Maybe I'm wrong. It's 40, right? 40% capacity anywhere in Disney right now. So
wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be? I know to go to 40% capacity. It would be like a dream,
right? That's the only way I would go.
Travel credits for Disney. Get them now. You'll never, ever
see it again.
Rides as many times.
I know. It would be like magic to be. I mean, seriously,
truly magic. Absolutely.
So anyway, that's a good way to end.
Yeah.
If you want to book, you should do that now. Roseanne, where can people find you if they want to connect with you and talk about traveling or?
522 Travel Group or my new travel website, Sundrenched Travel.
Sundrenched Travel.
Contact me, phone me, text me, send me an email, whatever you want.
No naked
talking
pictures.
About nude beaches or whatever.
What?
No naked pictures.
No.
Sorry.
It's a family show.
Right? It is a family show. It is a family show. All right. You want me to send us away, Janine? Are we good?
Yes. Give us our send out, Amy.
All right, good. So, Rosie, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I cannot wait to see you again so that, we can hug each other and party together. And please give Pat a big hug and a kiss from me. Janine, always a pleasure to be your sidekick. I'm happy to do it. Janine and I do want to throw this out there for anybody who's still on with us. We do have a big announcement coming up in about, I don't know, a week, 10 days, 2 weeks. We're still working out some of the kinks, so it could be 2 more weeks. So we have a big announcement where this little teeny tiny show is going to go pretty big. Wow. And we've had such a great following and so much great feedback, and people are really getting a kick out of all our guests. Janine and I don't do anything. Janine does all the work. I just show up. But our guests do all the heavy lifting because they tell great stories, and we just, keep the conversation going. So this has really become a bigger thing than Janine and I ever thought it was going to be. It was just meant to be a hoot and a half and for us to have a good time together. And so now it's going to be a pretty big adventure for the two of us, and we're excited. So that's all you get. That's your teaser. So anybody who's looking, that's your teaser. So you guys are going to have to stay, informed to find out. But here is, first and foremost, to all our frontline heroes out there, keeping us safe and keeping us fed. I was at the grocery store today. God bless them all. That is a tough gig. And I don't mind standing where I need to stand with them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So everybody be safe. We love you all very, very much. Please be safe. Good. And God bless all of you. And thank you for watching. It's a hoot and a half. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.